Well, we're here with Whisk.
Hey.
Whisk the band.
Yes.
What's your socials? Whisk the band?
It's at Whisk Band on Instagram.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Well, here we are at HowMuch Studios.
Yes, we
Thanks
are.
for having us, man.
Yeah. So you really recently recorded an EP here.
Sure did.
Tell us all about it.
Yeah. Okay. Let's tell you all about it.
It was a great time. We had a great producer, and we had a lot of fun. And I thought this was a very unique studio. So
It was the first time the four of us recording together, and so it was a really nice experience to kind of get our feet wet and see how we all work and work together.
Yeah, you guys nailed it. So you said it was your first time, the first time that the four of you did what, like a recording session together?
Yeah.
Okay, because who's the original members?
Me.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did that start?
How did that band start?
Yeah.
Well, I've always wanted to do music, perform, and so I moved to Austin, and I networked. You can say, I guess. So started with a couple other guys, and life happens. People leave the band, and then Frankie was actually auditioning to be the bassist at the time.
Yes, I was.
For the original lineup, I guess. And then he got promoted to lead guitar.
Whoa, that's cool. So
yeah.
is being a lead guitarist a promotion actually to any other person in the band? Are you up for lead guitarist next?
That would be a death sentence.
I think it would depend on what you want to be doing.
That's true.
Yeah.
If you want to be the lead guitar player, yes. For me or Antone, it would not be a promotion. It would actually be a nightmare.
For Frankie, it was definitely a promotion because he had been begging to be the rhythm guitar player
I
at the
initially
very
wanted,
least.
at the very least, because at first, when I was trying to be the bass player, and let me know if I'm cutting in too much, but you guys were trying to figure out your bass situation, and so I played one kick-ass show, and then you guys had a couple more shows lined up, and I was like, hey, am I gonna do them? And then never heard anything back. Again, I get it. And then later on, I was like, well, if all else, I'll be the rhythm guitar player, and I could kind of have myself hold back a little bit, and then more stuff happened, and now I'm the lead guitar player.
Yeah.
So what was Alex doing during this? When there was no bass player, when you were
just born.
I was in another band. Actually, I didn't want to join this band at first. I had a lot going on in my life, and Emily asked me to fill in, and I very explicitly said, yes, I will fill in until you find a bass player, but I cannot join. And then I played 7 shows in 1 month, and I was like, actually, I love this, and I want to join this band.
That's fucking awesome.
So
cheers to that,
I've changed my mind.
Cheers.
I made a time in my life.
Tell me about how you ended up having the name Whisk.
That's a her question.
It's actually very meaningful.
Yeah.
It's
a spiritual thing.
right. Anyways, I was just trying to think of something unique. I was going down the alphabet, and I thought, W. That's a good letter.
Doesn't get enough love.
And so I just started saying words that started with W, and Whisk came out, and I was with one of the members at the time, and they were like, that's not bad. And then we kind of left it, and they had forgotten about it, but I was like, no.
Yeah. Can I just say, I've heard the name Whisk so many times, I don't even associate it with the utensil anymore.
Whisk is good. Whisk is,
awesome.
I like Whisk. I like how that sounds. So I just stuck with it, and then I don't know. I never changed it, and then now we're kind of diving into that name with our theme, the whole
Well, you're stirring shit up, that's for sure. Would you be interested in playing some songs off your EP?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
Let's do it.
Let's do it, and we'll be right
Sweet.
back.
Awesome.
Sweet,
Okay.
thanks.
All right.
It's best to let this go.
let this go. Let this go. It's best to let this go. Let this go. It's best to let this go. Let this go. It's best to let this go. Let this go.
Holy fuck, dude! You guys kicked a lot of ass. Those just two little quick hits.
Yeah, short little
That's
numbers.
my favorite quick hit.
Okay.
Play it in Vegas.
You can do it in your backyard.
Yeah. All right, so we're back with Whisk, and we're gonna talk. Antone, what's your story?
So I joined this band a couple months back. I was living a few months back. I was living with Frankie. I'm still living with Frankie, and I came home one day, and Emily was on my couch, and I was like, "Oh, are you auditioning for Frankie's band?" And she was like, "Actually, he's auditioning for my band." And I was like, "Okay, I know who I'm dealing with here." I found out about Whisk, very quickly fell in love with the project, got really into it, became a really big Whisk fan, and then I became just absolutely wrought with jealousy about how good the songs were and how much fun they looked like they were having on stage, and I said, I must do anything I can to destroy this band.
Is that, but destroy in a cool way, right?
Yeah, no, from the inside out. So then eventually the opportunity came along. The drummer that they had couldn't play a show or something, so I filled in, and then a couple weeks later I did another fill-in gig, and then I came to Emily and I got down on my hands and knees and I said, Emily, I love this band. I want to be in this band. I'll do anything to be in this band. And then I went to Japan for 2 weeks, and then I joined the band while I was in Kyoto.
Okay.
I sent him a message. I said, hey, so you still want to join the band? No, actually, I proposed to you.
She did. She presented me with a ring, and I put on my veal, and it was
Veil.
Veil.
It's like a veil. Your veil, like what kind of meat suit are you talking
I'm
about?
like Gaga in 2010.
Over text, I said, will you take my hand and Whisk?
And I gave her a very strong maybe. But I feel like I should include this. The day before, literally hours before she had asked me to join the band, I was in Kyoto, and I climbed this huge mountain, and I went to this shrine, and I threw like $15 worth of yen into this pond, and I was like praying and wishing. I was like, please, God, Japanese deities, I don't know. I want to be in a really cool band so bad. I just gave you $15, make it happen. And it did. And now we're here.
But
yeah,
I thought as soon as I met him and played on the stage with him, I was like,
however the story goes, I know that from working with you guys, you just like came in here, fucking knew what you're gonna do, like just kind of output. It was all output, and it was like all satisfaction that I noticed. Yeah, like so it's like, okay, this band is cool.
I was
I
was like really amazed that because we were given maybe 2 days to record everything.
I mean, I would have given you whatever you want.
We recorded
but
in
you
one
guys,
day,
We
really.
recorded,
yeah.
It was like just with the time difference from 2 separate days. Like I was really amazed how much we were able to go get.
It was
done.
very efficient because you guys are tight and like you kind of erupt in some of these songs. Like I know towards the end of the EP, there's Everything, which is like a huge fucking epic, and it's like it reminds me of so many things. You're gonna say something.
I was just gonna say I really felt good coming in to record these songs because I was a fan of the group beforehand. I knew the songs before I was playing them, and it felt very, very good to be like, I'm gonna be the drummer on tape for these songs. You know what I mean? Because it was like I adored Spider Senses so much. It's still my favorite song in Austin right now, coming out of this music scene.
Wow.
And I'm so glad that I'm the guy that's on
there. Well, we just mentioned 2 songs. Would you guys be down to play those next songs?
Let's do it.
So tell me about there's some sort of controversy with the song or some question.
Right, yeah, okay. So basically, every time I introduce the song, I feel like people aren't understanding what I'm saying.
What are you saying?
So I'm saying Spider Census, not Spider Senses.
Gotcha.
Yes. It's a metaphor.
Or it's a count of population.
Right.
So you're counting the spider population in Austin, or I don't get what the song is.
You're counting how many spiders are in your house.
It's like a metaphorical.
In our house, they're very local.
How many spiders are in? It's like in this toxic situation. The spiders represent.
Holy shit, you guys. That was fucking awesome.
Thank you.
We're back here with Whisk. One more time. Give it up, clap respectively in your own homes or on your phones.
Just one clap.
So I hope that solved the issue of the confusion for your spider Census song.
Yes, I hope people understand now what I mean.
Census. Okay, dude, killer drums.
Thank you, buddy.
On that last song. You guys fucking rocked that last song.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
It's everything. You guys, so are these the only 4 songs that Whisk has?
No.
Hell no.
No.
Are you guys working on some new material, maybe
We
for
are,
an upcoming
yes.
album?
We sure are, yeah. We are working on some new songs. Hopefully an album.
Yeah.
End of the year, maybe. We'll see how.
Okay.
We'll see how it goes.
We're gonna start throwing some singles out pretty soon.
Oh, okay,
Hopefully.
that's interesting. Yeah, that's a great way to do it, actually. I
We
think.
also have a tour coming up.
Tell us about it.
Yeah.
So we're I was really hoping someone else was
Okay,
like
no, I
taking
got
it.
it.
No, so
anyways,
I'm taking
we're-
half of that shit.
Okay, so
we're
anyways,
playing. We're
You want me-
playing.
I can
in-
talk about it.
Better
No,
talk
I
about
can.
the tour.
Okay, you want to talk about it?
Yeah, I'll
Tour?
talk about it.
Fine,
Anyways.
talk about the tour.
So we're fighting.
We're fighting right now. It's not that serious.
anyways.
but it's like kind of serious.
We're Jesus. Okay, so anyways, yeah, we're going on tour. We're gonna go. Jesus.
Tell us the dates. Spill the dates.
Yes. Okay. So we're gonna be starting in Texas. Our first date is in Dallas on the 18th of July.
Okay.
And then what's next?
I'm looking it up.
It's all a blur.
We're playing.
Okay, I just want to say something while everybody's figuring out where the tour is and when it's going and how we're going to do that. I want to totally talk about how, shout out, Luke,
Lucas.
your little brother.
So for those, so for those who don't know,
Paulie, put me on there. Love you, Lucas.
love you.
Yeah.
So and actually, it's a great segue
Into the tour again,
into
I
the
know,
tour. Okay,
I know.
so for those who don't know, my brother is also doing music. He does. He just graduated from
Long Island
Long Island
University.
University. When he was down here was it last summer or 2 summers ago? It's all a blur.
I'm gonna have to look that up now too. But it was. I think it was last year.
So he was trying to find recording studio jobs or like at least an internship, and you took him in. And that's
He was How Much Studios intern, our one and only
the one and
short
only
intern,
intern.
and we can't wait for him to come back to Austin.
You need,
Yeah.
But
a
it's okay if he
giant
fucking rocks it in New
picture frame
York
of
too.
him right
but
here.
that's
We could do that, yeah.
that's how me and Phil got affiliated, and through my affiliation, we were able to put out this great EP. And on top of that, Luke, my brother's band up in LIU is called Married Knot, and we
With
are
a KNOT.
yeah, like a knot.
Yeah.
But on top of
And
that,
a comma.
in the comma, we're actually playing with them in New York when we go up there, and so that's gonna be really fun because I've never gotten to share the stage with my brother before.
Yeah.
And so I'm pretty excited for that. My own parents were figuring out flight dates and when to come in,
Yeah.
because my dad's a big fanboy.
Yeah.
and,
Frank's cool.
and so it's a kind of wild to think that me and my own brother are going to be sharing the same stage, not in the same band, but just
same
take it
bill.
out the same bill.
I think you guys did one time actually on his birthday party.
we did. Okay,
that's
yeah,
a
you're
secret.
right, but that's
That's a
a
secret.
whole separate fucking thing.
All right.
gotta
So
go.
anyway,
The tour.
so the tour. So you're
Right.
launching into Dallas
Yes,
and then
so-
driving all the way up to Long Island.
Well, yeah, so we'll do Dallas, we'll do San Marcos. We got our Austin show at Mohawk the 21st of July as part of our tour. It's our Austin date.
And that's
Yeah.
on a Monday night, so everybody
Sure is.
stay up all weekend and into Monday still, and then catch it.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
it's
actually
going to be a good
recommend
time.
they rest over the weekend to get ready for that Monday date.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They're
Sunday?
gonna need their energy.
Sunday fun day.
No.
Sunday fun day
Monday.
that turns into Monday.
Monday,
Exactly.
Sunday fun day, Monday.
Okay, so we'll be
Yeah.
there for Monday, and then you'll be gone for a while, and then meanwhile, you have any new songs that you want to debut?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have this one song called "Can't Get Enough."
Tell me about it. Tell everybody about it.
Yeah.
It's funky, it's fresh.
It's funky, it's fresh. Yeah.
Fat, juicy, and wet.
Jesus. Yeah, Alex came in with a bass line. We were rocking with it. We kind of put together
To give credit where credit's due, Antone came up with the chorus and
the guitar.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
And I was like,
You wrote the guitar part.
I orally dictated it.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah,
That's a good way to do things.
Other than the
Whisk songs
verse, he like kind of like walked me through.
Me and
I think
Frankie.
all Whisk songs are a team effort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say anyone. I mean, like we all put in our own spin.
But specifically to that, yeah. So, he brought that in. We kind of structured it together. I took it home. I came up with a melody and some lyrics, brought it back. We kind of restructured it to fit the vision I had with the melody, and then built the song.
It's just really cool. I actually had never written a song until that one. I was at my parents' house for Christmas, and I was very bored. And I was like, you know what? I want to come back to Whisk, and I want to have a song that we can write together. And so now sitting at the spot where we're recording it, and like hearing the touch that everyone added, it's very cool. Because it sounded like crap when I wrote it, and now it's very cool. It's one of my favorites.
Well, congrats.
So
any last cheers before we sign off for the night and you guys play the song for us?
Phil, I just want to say thank you for having us.
Thanks for having
y'all.
us, man.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
for helping us
Appreciate it.
record an EP.
Dude, that fucking EP.
Really love HowMuch.
HowMuch Studios. You heard it here.
Well, all right. You guys keep kicking ass. Good
Thank
luck
you,
on
Phil.
tour. And we'll
you.
see you
Thank
back
you.
here on the other side.
Thank you, Phil.
Yes.
Play a song.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.